This is Hooked On Media, your SEO and PPC specialist delivering winning results for businesses online. Prepare for industry intelligence, your exclusive insights, and top tips are here.
Hi, Stewart.
Hi, Xavier.
Hi, thanks for joining this Q&A session all about call tracking. We're excited to be collaborating, as you know, with Infinity, our call intelligence provider, and spending some time providing our readers and clients with not only insights into call tracking as a tool, but also who might be the perfect client for using this tool and what results it can unlock, really by delving deeper into the analytics of where audiences are coming from and how qualitative they are as a lead. I'm sure you'll agree, as you are working closely with this tool, it has so many benefits it can bring to our campaigns, especially in terms of budget allocation, reducing wasted ad spend, and most importantly, accessing those crucial blind spots in the customer journey.
Absolutely. Call tracking is a really interesting topic within digital marketing and provides genuine real value to campaigns and is often missed by lots of businesses, especially those taking phone calls, which we'll talk about. But absolutely excited to talk about call tracking.
Brilliant. Okay, so if I begin with asking really for you to explain call tracking as a whole, what is call tracking?
Sure. Call tracking is a method of identifying the marketing source of each caller's inquiry. So, for example, if a user lands on your website and sees the phone number and dials, call tracking allows you and us to identify how that person found the website. And with things like Google Ads, even more detailed than that, it shows us which key phrases the user typed into Google prior to making that call, which is critical when you're managing ad budgets within things like Google Ads, to know which search terms are actually generating phone calls and which ones aren't.
Yeah, that's a really, really great overview. So that leads me on to asking, is call tracking suitable for all businesses?
So call tracking can be implemented on any website. It's a snippet of code that goes into the site. However, it is most beneficial for businesses that receive inquiries by phone. So if you're an e-commerce site, for example, and your main revenue driver is e-commerce checkouts on the site, then potentially call tracking isn't as important for you. But if you're a service business or any business that receives inquiries by phone, then it can be absolutely crucial to getting the most out of your marketing efforts and your marketing budgets.
So let's say I'm a business who does handle a fair amount of calls per day and I want to know more before signing up. What are the inner workings of call tracking? So for instance, what technologies or tools are frequently used to make it possible?
Okay, so a snippet of JavaScript is implemented into the website, either by you or your developer. And then when a user lands on the website, they're shown a unique phone number to them. So each different user would see a different phone number. And that gives us the tracking ability to figure out where the referring source was. So did they come from a Google search query? Was it organic or was it a paid query? Did they come via a social channel? Was it, Facebook versus Instagram or TikTok, for example? And then the phone numbers at the start can be local or national. So the prefix would match exactly the existing prefix or area code that you've currently got on your website. So if you were London and it was 020, your existing number was 020, then the call tracking would show 020 as the area code, and then the next 6 digits would be dynamic for each user.
Okay, great. So we all really value this tool at Hooked On Media. Why would you say clients should embrace call tracking as an integral part of their MarTech stack?
So with a call tracking provider such as Infinity, it is designed sort of from its core to integrate with other products, other MarTech stack products such as Google Analytics and Google Ads. You'll automatically, once integrated, be able to see all event measurements, including the phone calls and their respective sources within analytics. So other benefits, so you can measure the ROI and attribute calls to marketing channels that generated them. So from a real top level perspective, as a business owner or marketer, you can instantly see which marketing efforts are driving the most calls and allocate your budget accordingly.
Great, thank you. Okay, so if I were to delve a bit deeper, I'd like to ask you which key metrics can you track when utilizing call tracking, and what makes them really crucial for gauging success and driving impactful business decisions as a business owner?
Okay, so say you've had call tracking up and running for a month, then what we would do is download all of the data and be looking at metrics such as the call source, the cost per acquisition. So how much did each call cost, the call volume, the call duration, and the call outcome. So by understanding the cost per acquisition for each campaign, that's particularly useful. If you have a campaign A costing £3 per phone call versus campaign B, which costs £20 per phone call, we can then confidently prioritize our efforts against campaign A. And assessing metrics like call quality can also help determine if your reception or call handlers are handling the calls efficiently. Call recording comes into play there. So not only are we looking at data on the source of the calls, but we can also feed back on the call handling quality. So was the call answered quick enough? Did it go to answer phone? Was the receptionist distracted by what's going on in reception and things like that? Benefits from call tracking are quite wide-ranging. Not only do we get the most out of the marketing budgets, but you can sort of have an insight into what's going on in the business when you're sort of not in the room.
Great. I love that it really complements that split testing technique, which we love as marketeers. Yeah, really good stuff. It obviously gets down to a real granular level. How useful would you say call tracking is for surveying offline marketing efforts then? Like, can you use it for offline marketing efforts?
Yes, you can, and it's equally as effective. The main reason being, within the Infinity Hub, for example, you can generate static offline phone numbers and assign them to whatever activity you're undertaking. So that could be print sort of leaflets or billboards or a magazine, and then you would assign that phone number and name. So say that you were running 2 billboards, location A and location B, you could have a static number for each location, and then you could see the data within the same dashboard as your online activity to determine, which billboard or offline marketing method is bringing you the most calls over time.
Great. As a business owner, I'm liking what I'm hearing and want to get on board with call tracking. But I have a few questions before signing up. So Stewart, in your opinion, what are the primary concerns or reservations frequently faced by clients when discussing integrating call tracking?
Okay. I'd say the main one is, prior to call tracking, when a business owner has their website, they display the phone number, say in the header or the contact page, and that phone number is their main number, which they reference to everyone to call them. So with call tracking, that number becomes dynamic and is ever changing for each user, albeit the area code is staying the same. So that can provide some nervousness for the business owner that their phone number is going to change. I mean, the main point there is if somebody stores a dynamic number in their phone or writes it down and calls it back at a later date, the phone call will still connect. It still goes through to the main business number. So that normally, puts people at ease. And, there is a valid reason for doing call tracking, and the benefits, typically far outweigh anybody writing down a dynamic phone number. And then if you ever stop call tracking and somebody, has got that number, say a year in the future after you stop call tracking and they ring it and it doesn't connect, then, typically they would just go to the website and find the number and call you without issues.
Yeah.
It's sort of a rare occurrence, and the benefits far outweigh any issues.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've moved on a bit with manually dialing in anyway, haven't we?
Absolutely, yeah.
So brilliant. Okay, for the last question then, can you share any compelling success stories or case studies that showcase the tangible benefits and positive impact for implementing call tracking?
Yes, part of our initial brief to somebody who's considering call tracking, that the main benefit is once they've undertaken a period of sort of paid marketing activity with call tracking in place, they can then review the effectiveness of the call tracking. So that's regularly done by clients. And the way that's done is we can supply then, say we've got 3 months of call data, we can supply 3 months of call data and show all the customer phone numbers. And then those numbers can be referenced against the client's CRM database to cross-reference who has actually signed up and become a customer, and often they'll have the value of that customer in there. So it can be quite insightful. And sometimes it's apparent that all of their new business is coming from, say, their Google Ads activity as defined by the call tracking, and then they might double the budget. Yes, so incredibly useful information to have.
Brilliant. That's all just such interesting stuff. And I think the main thing is that all clients want to eliminate wasted ad budget spend, increase ROI. So call tracking seems fantastic for that. So I really appreciate you taking time out of your busy day to answer these questions. And yeah, if there's anything else, then please do share. But otherwise, brilliant stuff. Thank you so much, Stewart.
Fantastic. No, thank you for the conversation on call tracking. Really enjoyed it.